NERDSoul.
Lay ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and nerd soul. You know it's Star Trek. You know what we talking about. And I'm not by myself. I have the cinematic sorcerer. What's up, man? How's you doing?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, coming at you from the Wizard's Tower. And I actually had a pretty good weekend, ups and downs, but I'm sitting up here with my kingly cigarettes.
Ah, yes, yes.
Killing me. Killing me on that.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna go on and get it started right here. You know who's killing me?
This.
Star Trek is killing me. All right. Because you had the nerve, all right, to end this show, in this whole season, like there wasn't an extra hour to do. All right. Y'all didn't finish your job. There's a whole another hour sitting around. I'm like, hold up, where the rest of the show? Y'all got me out here like across the Spider-Verse. Like, hold on, where the rest at? Where the rest? Because y'all got me. See, I'm already ready. Now I know y'all gonna be like, oh, y'all skipping the Rhapsody. We'll talk about Rhapsody a little bit. All right, don't worry about that. All right, but
yeah, no, we're doing visceral stuff right now.
Right now. All right. Now I know I have talked about how much I like the exploration, and we get to learn ourselves and learn and the truths of what's possible. And look, all right, we're behind enemy lines. We're at a stalemate standoff. There's people's lives in danger. This is what I'm talking about. All right. Now I do love the other stuff, but it got me hype. And then y'all had the nerve to just be like, to be continued. All right. When you saw To Be Continued, Mr. Gray, how did you feel?
Slow clap, my friend. Slow clap.
I felt nothing but anger.
Now, you see, I know you're feeling angry. I know you're feeling angry. I can see if you're watching like your Paramount Plus on your PlayStation. I see the controller being thrown across the room. I see Giancarlo Esposito and Samuel L. Jackson on a stoop in Brooklyn Heights, throwing their hands up in the air going, ah! But I also see all y'all tuning in at that premiere in a few months.
Man, look, I'm like, when season is season 3 next week? Because y'all can't just leave me hanging like this.
Well, in all fairness, they just looking at the timing, the writer's strike could have had something to do with it.
True. I mean, it's just it hurt my soul. But I do. There's a couple things.
It hurt your nerd soul?
Yes. All right. I'm going to get down to this. Here's why I hate the Gorn. You had the nerve to fire on a Federation vessel, right? Then send a communication. You ain't even say nothing. You just sent a picture of the demarcation line. You think I don't know where that line is at? I know where that line is. So you think this little line gonna protect you? Or you think this little line? First thing, you made the first mistake. You fired on my people. All right, that's the first thing you did wrong. That's strike 1. Strike 2. You then taunted me by sending me this picture. All right. Strike 3, you forgot that we got unfinished business from the last season. All right. So now it's time for me to tear you up. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Time for me to tear, because see, you done made mistakes upon mistakes. I had the nerve to send a picture like, I know where we at. I digress. I know we supposed to be political, you know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, the second they fired on that Federation vessel, they escalated this.
Right.
All right. Hey, y'all took it to another level. It's time to go. I I feel like Pike when he was like, house meeting immediately. He was like, commander's meeting in my room now. Because I can't disagree. Look, we going down there. We going down there right now. First, I don't care about Uncle Phil on the little Zoom chat. I don't care about that. He gonna come in on FaceTime. Well, we got the line and they attacked the Federation. No, they've attacked our ship. Our ship is over there. They blew it up. I'm like, look, nah, bro. I mean, Mr. Gray, you know what? Bring in some sensibility for me, because I know I might be a hothead on this.
So the sensibility is this: it's one ship seeing another ship, and yeah, they fired on the Federation ship. All right, that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is one act of aggression.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. All right. However, the declaration of war is not up to the soldiers. It's up to the old men behind desks. And that literally is what comes down. Yeah, the Gorn definitely fired on Captain Bay's ship. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That ship didn't blow up by itself.
Yeah, no, it didn't. And we got the garbage. We got all, the freaking scorch marks and all that stuff. However, the Enterprise going into reprisal gives the Gorn the excuse that they need to declare all-out war, and that can cost thousands, if not millions, of lives. That's a lot to put on one captain.
Okay. All right. Okay. I understand. Now I understand. Now I understand the frozen fear.
Yeah.
But hold
literally
up.
That last shot.
Didn't they cross the line to shoot his ship?
They crossed a lot of lines. I'm not
But
gonna lie.
At the very end, they crossed the demarcation line to shoot at his ships.
Forget the demarcation line. They took hostages.
Oh, you know what? You're right. They did.
All right, and that's
so. Yeah,
And see, Pike was literally in the Kobayashi Maru, my man. You got to go get those. One, he's got to go get his people, because you don't leave Dr. Mbinga over there.
And my boo over there. Oh no, son.
And second, but doing that can be considered a major act of war. So do you sacrifice the hostages and get out to keep thousands of people from dying? Or do you side on it's better to ask forgiveness than beg permission? That he is in a no-win situation right then. Well,
I guess, because I know, all right, say if I'm the captain, we definitely shooting. We going all out. We going to kill all these people. All right. We're going to take. But if I was to get some flack, I would say this. If we run now, do you think this is the last time they're going to do this? They've shot down one of our ships. They've taken hostages. If we ran now, who knows? Man, come on. Because they'd be like, y'all some suckers.
And see,
they'd be like, we could do all this. You think if we give them an inch, they will take a mile? Trust me.
See, and that is the conversation they're having back at Starfleet Command. That right there. Because again, this is not an easy answer. I mean,
also, this ain't happening in a bubble. You think the Romulans ain't seeing this?
Yeah, exactly.
You think, come on, man. Look, we gotta. If the
Romulans and the Klingons are looking at this, then it's a completely different thing as well. So the options are:
like you saw.
Do you send in a strike team? Do you do an official declaration of war and send all the Starfleet and all the Starfleet in, which includes the Andorians, the Vulcans? However, look at where we are on the timeline, because if there's a war, an all-out war, wars aren't just one army fighting against another army. Alliances are made.
Yeah.
So can Starfleet survive a war with the Gorn? You know what? They might win. Can Starfleet fight a war with the Gorn and negotiate a temporary alliance with the Romulans before the Gorn can? That's a question. And where are the Klingons in all this?
Well,
where are the Orions?
Do you think the Romulans
on all this?
Really ally with the Gorn?
Depends on how much they hate Starfleet. And that is the politics behind it. Okay? This is why war is no joke. It's not a split-second decision.
And for people watching, I don't know about the original series. All I've seen is Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and then all the new stuff like Discovery, Prodigy, Lower Decks. So I don't know about from the outside looking in, it seems like the Gorn are very similar to the Borg. There ain't gonna be no negotiating.
Well, that's the thing. It
seems like it's kind of like, hey, look, we come and we're going to take everything over and we're going to move on to the next thing.
Yeah, but see, that's what I mean. It looks like. But are these fringe terrorist groups of the Gorn and the rest of the Gorn are just at home not knowing that any of this is happening? You know? Are these actually part of an organized Gorn military, or is it just a big pirate force? We don't know.
All right, I guess.
You know, and again, we live in the United States in the year 2023. We just got out of a forever war in Iraq based on terrorism that happened from Arabs in the year 2001. You know, so, and again, Iraq didn't have nothing to do with 9/11, but we went to war with them based on what one of their neighbors did. For what reason?
Oil.
I'm not here to say. All right. I'm not here to say. All right. But
because I remember watching all this stuff. I was like, hold up. But did they even do it? I don't think they did it. Why did we blow them up? I mean, if we got to blow someone up, go ahead. But I don't think they did anything.
So you see where I'm coming from on this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, war is no joke. It's not rebels against the empire. All right.
Yeah.
That's simplistic. That's good guys win, bad guys lose. However, there's a whole lot of neutral parties out there. There's a whole lot of.
I love that that Star Wars is now doing. Like, even I know The Last Jedi. I understand. I get it. Before I even go there,
get away from your keyboards.
Get away from your keyboards. But one thing that they did do right is they showed Canto Bight. They showed a group of people that were like, we don't care. they showed people at like a Vegas planet where, like, did they look like they were scared of rebels or, you know, Empire or First Order out there? No.
And you know,
it was chilling.
I really liked that as well, specifically with the arms dealers going, yo, I'm dealing weapons to both sides.
Yeah, it's like I said to both of y'all.
You know, that's just how it goes. War is ugly. And so, since Star Trek has always asked that question, like, okay, take it all the way back to the OG beef, Federation versus the Klingons, you know, but then there was always the Romulans poking their head up going, hey, guess who just bought some of our tech, bruh? You know, so you got the Federation, which at this point consists of a lot of planets, but let's be real, the main forces are the humans, the Vulcans, the Andorians. That's about it. Versus the Gorn, all right, our space dinosaurs, which I'm down with.
And however, they apparently got mad skills because they was able to block communications and all kinds. And
exactly, like, they are an intelligent species. So who are they striking up alliances with? Who are they messing with? Do they have enemies that Starfleet can team up with to maybe pull in a two-pronged attack? You know, I mean, these are all questions that got to be asked. Because as soon as war is declared, a lot of people are going to die.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me
that's not Starfleet's jam, you know.
It kind of reminds me of the first episode of Star Trek Discovery, where it seems like, this should be mad routine, and then Klingons show up, and it's like,
exactly, exactly. You know,
this might be serious.
Yeah, exactly. You know, So yeah, I mean, this is complex, and poor Pike is like, I didn't want to be that guy.
Man, look,
because the next decision I make I mean, if they just run away, you could be right, and the Gorn could come in going, oh, we got him on the ropes now. Now is the time to press.
yeah.
However,
Now we can press at the edge. Every like edge planet we can press on. Because I mean, what they gonna do? They gonna run.
yeah, exactly.
We got our little hunter ships. I'm like, man, look where our little cool ships at. All right, where our cool ships?
At this point, in Starfleet, we don't have them.
Where's our A wings? Where's our X wings? Where's it? Come on, man.
In this point in Star Trek, we don't really have them because they're explorers, not an army. They didn't come close to forming an army until DS9. That was why they were all freaked out when the Defiant came about. They're like, man, it's only got room for like 50 people and everything else is guns. Like, is this us?
Well,
and Worf is like,
yoink. By the time DS9 comes by, it's like, hold up, we done seen the Romulans, the Klingons, the Borg. Yes, we need a gun or two.
Yeah,
like, I mean, we gonna need a gun or two. Like, what are you talking about? Now, I mean, I know, because people gonna be like, I'm a gun nut. No, but I also know if you planning on going out somewhere where you don't know where you're going, you gonna need something sharp.
We'll see.
Something hard. Some, you know.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's why they got the phasers and the photon torpedoes.
Right?
That's their machete and their rifle.
That's a little antiquated though. They be having them looking bad, man. Photon torpedoes ain't really doing right.
No, bro, photon torpedoes are devastating. You know,
I mean, why do you seem they don't be working on the show though? They always
because the show is Star Trek, not Star War.
Yeah, but my thing is, why every time when we shoot somebody, don't nothing happen. When they showed us, all kinds of stuff happens, man. I need some more strength, just a little bit.
It's a different kind of strength, man. It's the strength of restraint. You know, it's the, you know what? Yeah, they shot one of our ships, so that 6-year-old punched us in the leg. Are we even limping? Let me check. Nah, you know, but when a 6-year-old punch you in the leg, you don't do a jumping, spinning back kick on the 6-year-old's head.
Yeah, that would be kind of messed up.
Yeah, you see what I mean? So, you know, Starfleet is made up of Vulcans with a whole bunch of outer space tech, Andorians, a whole bunch of outer space tech and bad tempers, and humans. Not a whole lot of outer space tech, but a long history. A long history of declaring war and committing genocide. And they're like, I'm trying not to go there. I'm trying to change my way. You know, they're the recovered thug. You know, they did some time.
Not the recovered thug.
they did some time.
He pulled 8 to 10 years. Now
they had some kids.
He found God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they had some kids saying, you know what? My kid has a chance to go to college. Let me keep that kid off the street. Let's not do this. Please. I mean, they're sitting up. That's always been Starfleet's big thing. They're like, peace, peace, peace. And then they get their hands in that prayer position. Like, look, man, I'm begging, leave me alone.
Dr. Mbinga was like, man, please leave. Just please leave me alone.
And see, that's always been an underlying thing about Starfleet. Because remember, you said it. As soon as he did those prayer hands, that Klingon was dead with a primitive weapon, and Mbinga got away with it scot-free.
Yep.
Can you imagine what Starfleet would do?
Man,
you know, that's the thing. Starfleet is like that nerd from your neighborhood that you used to clown. They don't know how to fight. They only know how to win. And that's why Starfleet is always so quick to pause, to take a breath, you know, because, you know, they're the ones that set up like jigsaw traps and stuff like that. You know, they made Cisco, bro.
True. All right. Speaking of jigsaw and making up stuff, props to Scotty in the house,
bruh.
yo.
Montgomery Scott.
I'm like, hold up. So I guess, at least from the outside looking in, because once again I haven't seen TOS, so excuse me, but just instead of making fun of me, help educate a brother. So it seems like the Enterprise is like just like a ragtag of like tons of different people. Like, oh, I used to be on this ship, but I had to come over because they got laid off or something. And I had to come from this ship because it got blew up. And I came from here because I just came up through the ranks or something. Like, it didn't seem like they all got like, at least in my mind, it's not like they all like they're the graduating class of 2000 or something like that. And they all came up together. It's like, nah.
Oh, no, bro. Here's the thing. The Enterprise eventually becomes the flagship of the Federation. All right.
Okay.
The flagship is literally the example. Like when you see Starfleet, you're supposed to think the Enterprise. Now, you don't get the best of the best out of one graduating class. All right.
True.
You get the best grades out of the graduating class. Sure. Okay. But there's a difference between fresh out of college with good grades and been in the field with no resources. Nurse Chapel isn't just good because she got good grades, but she was given to Clint Howard going, all right, so if you need anything, just take it for a given that we ain't got it and you just gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, you got Scotty improvised like a cool like extra NOS booster to his shuttle. Like,
bruh.
Look, man.
Scotty is frightening. All right. He is that engineer that was at the top of his class and then had to go home and be Jamal on the block that could only afford to fix everything on the block for $40.
I actually used to know a kid like that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm cool. I need some duct tape.
He can fix your microwave. Like,
Like I need some duct tape. I need some copper wire, and I need some gasoline. I will make sure those badgers don't come back. Like, whoa, hold up, bro. like what you gonna be doing?
What are you gonna do with the badgers?
And it's like, yeah, no, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Just know once I fix it, it's gonna work. Just don't push number 9. All right, you're not gonna have a 9. But you know what? Your microwave can work at freaking, 58 seconds.
Yeah.
Or,
fine.
71 seconds. Just don't push 9.
So
it's
like, cool. I like seeing that even Pelia, I can't remember how to pronounce it, but she was like, oh, this is my favorite student.
Not favorite, best.
Oh, sorry. Best student. Sorry.
Best student. That's important. Because remember, she was ancient when she joined Starfleet, and she was ancient when she started teaching.
Oh yeah.
So,
true.
Think about it. We talked about that old man strength. That playing those old heads at basketball. How they know all those little tips and tricks to wear you out that you ain't learned yet. Scotty was the one that picked up on all that.
Yeah, because she said like picked up all her best traits or worst traits or something like that. But Pike. Yeah. All I need Pike terrifying. All I need Pike to do is say, "Hey, we firing back." That's all I need. Because I think I'd say this before I step into the next person. I'd like to say this. I think we have everything we need on the ship right now to get those people back.
Absolutely.
I think we got everything we need right now.
Absolutely. The question is, do you have everything on the ship to deal with the consequences? Because remember, there's already 4 ships. There's already 4 Gorn destroyers or whatever they're called. There's 4 of them right there.
So I thought those were just the little ships.
There's still 4 of them.
Because I thought it was just like the big, like I guess the Enterprise, and then like the little fighters. I didn't know it was
still got guns.
True. Yeah.
All right.
And
I don't care if it's 5 8th graders. If they're holding a 45, you don't go in, even if you got a shotgun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I get where you're at emotionally. All right. Emotionally, I get the hell nah. However, let's pause. Okay.
'Cause I think, especially with my girl Ortegas.
Mhm.
Ortegas, look, the girl can fly. All right.
Oh yeah,
The girl, look,
she is
the
good
girl
at
can
what she
fly.
do.
Like, I love how everybody was all worried. Like their faces were all worried. Her face was like
She
pure
was like,
happiness.
"Yeah, I've been trying to do this for a minute now."
She's like, I did this during the war all the time. Oh yeah, and another thing, all of these people have been through war. Yo, let's do this. All right, let's do this.
Again.
Let's stomp these people out, and then the Gorn don't play no more. You know what I'm saying?
Or the Gorn knows, all right, we finally got somebody worth fighting.
I guess so.
Like I said, again, bro, I know you're sitting up and you all about that action, but those actions got consequences. And we are talking thousands of bodies. All right. Thousands of bodies stacked.
All right, well, I guess we can look at it this way. On top of Ortegas and her top quality flying, okay. On top of that, we could have her figure out some way to kind of maybe attack like the little fighters. Then on the ship, on the Gorn ship, we got Umbinga over there. All right. So here's my thoughts with Umbinga. All right. Do you think he went down to the surface without the Senzu beam? All right. You know what I'm saying? He definitely got that one. All right. He definitely got the Senzu beam. And if he has that, we might be able to rely on him to create enough of a disturbance on that ship so that we can handle stuff outside.
I'm with you 100% on the right now plan. All right. Your right now plan is fine. I see a bunch of that stuff. I mean, they got the two best engineers in Starfleet on the ship right now. They can cut the Gorn's communication somehow. Go in there, slaughter everybody, and then walk away whistling like, "Nah, I don't know what you're talking about." They could do that. Okay. But again, they're already at war with the Klingons. So now they're fighting a war on two fronts. You know, the Klingons and the Gorn don't even got to team up with each other, but you fighting one dude on the North Block and one dude on the East Block, and you only got so many people and so many guns.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hard decision. You know, a really hard decision.
And the thing is, like you said, if Pike, whatever decision Pike makes, that's basically him making a decision for the whole Starfleet Federation.
Exactly.
Because once he makes that decision, if he makes the decision to run, the idea is going to be Starfleet runs. They even when you take their people, you blow up the ship and take their people, they just run. Or if he fights, it's going to be like, okay, well, y'all have decided to go into a hot war against the Gorn. Because at least up to this point, it seems like the Gorn have been like, we just gonna stay over here, and we gonna let y'all stay over there. But I don't know. You can't just leave them, man. Especially if they were dead. If they were dead, I get it'd be kind of one thing. Because I mean, I can understand being like you want a body to bury, but I also understand being like, look, we can't risk more lives for people that have already passed. I can get that, but these people are alive. Well, we hope are still alive.
To our knowledge, yes.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, if Nurse Chapel's still alive, they definitely still alive. Like Nurse Chapel, I was like, hold on, what? When she started coughing, I was like, hold on. So, and then I was like, okay, well, you know what? You could throw me off if at least like one or two other people are still alive. Nope, everybody dead. Got the magical girl over here. But you know, I understand. We need that reconnection, and I love them holding hands. On top of like an awesome, special effects shot. But I'll let it slide. But all in all, what I love most about this episode in the finale is this team works perfectly. They don't even need to talk to each other. Like something goes on, like, cool, I'm going down to the ground. Don't worry, I know you're going to do whatever you need to do, so go on ahead. Like, he didn't even. It's not like he left a to-do list for Uhura, number one, and Spock. He was just like, all right, y'all do what y'all do, and he trusted them to do that, and they did. That's even with Spock. Spock goes out on the like, you know, the kind of like the spacewalk kind of mission. Nobody's like looking over his shoulder. I like a well-oiled team, man. I love it when a plan comes together.
I feel you. And I also know that's your 1980s television training and your athleticism coming out. And it is beautiful to watch. You know, it really is. Yeah, I mean, the whole point of leadership is getting people who are good at what they're doing and then letting them do their job.
Yeah.
You know,
like, I know you got, if you need me, call me, but besides that, do your thing.
Yeah. Or, all right, I got to come out and tell y'all where to do your job now. Not how to do it. I just need to point y'all in this direction because my boss has said this. Or I got an idea, you know? And yeah, again, that's great leadership. And that's one of the things that Star Trek has always excelled at. I'm not going to lie. You know, that's why we focus so much on captains on this show, because all the captains are good at trusting their crews, so we can focus on the captains. Well, except for Janeway, but we'll talk about that on a different show.
And see, since I've never seen Janeway outside of Star Trek Prodigy, I don't really know. To me, she couldn't
trust her crew at the beginning because half of them were anti-Starfleet terrorists. So, yeah, that's what the Maquis is. Yeah, that's what the Maquis is. The Maquis is like, screw Starfleet. We need to be space pirates. You know.
Okay. That could be an issue.
Yeah. So
I just remember seeing the advertisements for it when it first came out and being like, "Yeah, she looks like a middle school principal. I can't get down with this." Like, they didn't make her look cool, man.
Honestly, that was one of the main reasons I did try and watch it, because she looked like a middle school principal.
Oh,
middle school is the hardest time to be in education. You know,
oh man,
your students are crazy. They're going through hormones. They're growing 3 inches in English class. They're raising their hands because they need bigger shoes. Can't understand what half of them are saying because their voices are cracking.
It's like life is crazy for them right now.
Exactly.
Pimples everywhere.
Fresh
faces are now covered with acne.
Their farts actually stink, but they still like farting just like they did when they were in 3rd grade. It's terrible. Just terrible.
The braces are big. The glasses are big. Like the
girls are being made fun of, and the boys are wanting to grope. So, you know.
I don't know how middle school is now, but I remember some of like the thickest glasses, like basically like starter binoculars, like on some of these kids. And I used to be like, man, like, is this the best they could hook y'all up with? Like, this is like, what is going on? Like, are you blind? Like, you really need some assistance. But yeah, middle school was a tough time, y'all. It was, or junior high, depending where it was a tough time.
Right.
It was rough. You know.
So it's like, you know what? Anybody that can keep that together and argue with the state, yeah, they can lead a ship. they can lead a ship.
Oh man. So okay, I have a I guess like a political, I guess, war type question for Star Trek. All right. Okay. If the Gorn are outside of Federation space.
Yes.
And the Romulans are outside of Federation space.
Yeah.
Do they get along, or do they even like deal with one another?
The question is, where outside of Federation space? All right.
Well,
so
yeah, that's true because I mean,
they talk about the
space is big.
quadrants. Yeah, space is so big that
Space is
no
big.
name suits its nature but its own. Okay, you can't call space nothing else.
Yeah, it's just
You know, you don't. I mean, seriously, you just there's no other word for how big space is except space. There's so much of it. That's all it is. And the thing is, space is so big. All right.
Yeah.
They sliced the galaxy, just the galaxy, which is infinitesimal in regards to the rest of the universe. Okay. But the galaxy, so big that they split it into quadrants. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And of 60 something years of Star Trek shows, we have only ever seen the beta quadrant and the alpha quadrant for maybe 22 episodes of 63 years of Star Trek. Now, what does that mean? That means the neutral zone still in the alpha quadrant. Think about it this way. When we think galaxy, we don't exactly understand what galaxy is. All right. Every system that they go to is a star system. It is the bunch of planets that revolve around a star,
AKA
a quadrant of space, huh?
AKA like us.
Like us, yes. We are in.
We have our
solar
star. We have
system.
our own. Yeah, we have our own personal system.
Okay, and real talk. At current time, we haven't gone to the Centauri system, which is the closest one. And that's still 1.3 light years from where we are. That means if we were going the fastest speed that there is, which is light speed, because anything after that, you turn into energy, go read a physics book. It would still take 1 year and 4 months to get there.
And light speed is super duper fast. All right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
It's really fast.
Just to put everything in perspective, our star, the sun, all right, is 8 light minutes away. So if we're moving the speed of light, it'll still take us 8 to 10 minutes to get to the sun. That's how big space is. Space is huge. So outside of Federation, space is still in the alpha quadrant. Now, if you were to put that on, say, a 3-dimensional map, all right, you got north, south, east, west, up, and down. All right. Mm-hmm. We got the neutral zone, which is outside of Federation space. Is it north? Is it south? Is it up? Is it down? Is it east? Is it west? And then the Gorn are outside of Federation space, but are they outside of the neutral zone? So, do they get along? I don't know. Do they know each other? I don't know.
And the reason I'm asking is because maybe, even though the Romulans aren't too keen on us, maybe there's something that we have that we can give to them that will allow them to give to us how they kill them.
That's exactly it. That's the politics that Starfleet has to question, because you're forgetting the 2 other spacefaring weapons having species in Star Trek at this point that ain't down with the Federation.
Well, I figure the Klingons ain't gonna help us, at least not right now.
Well,
I guess I just punted that because we're definitely not gonna get that one.
Well, I don't believe anything it goes without saying. And second, the Orions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So where do they stand with the Gorn? In order to go to war wisely, Starfleet's going to have to make a lot of phone calls. Like, hey, what's up, Romulus? Yeah, hey, yeah. So we got this lizard people down here. How you feeling? How you feel about the lizard people? You know? And then you got the Klingons, who probably love the Gorn. Going, oh man, now they look like they're gonna be a good fight. Or we love that they going after y'all. Y'all want to prove to us that y'all ain't a bunch of punks? Take out the Gorn first, you know? And then we got the Orions going, hey, we love the Gorn. When they go through, we get a whole bunch of salvage.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's a false flag possibility, you know, hit up the Klingons, be like, man, how you feeling? What do you mean? Man, the way the Gorns was burning your moms, man, they roasted her up, man. I can't believe that.
See, now you're sounding just like that. you do know you're talking about the Pale Moonlight. That's exactly what Cisco did to the Romulans to get them in the war with the Dominion.
Oh, word! Oh, snap! He did kind of like orchestrate that.
Yes.
You know what? It's been about 2 years. I need to go in and watch DS9 again.
Yeah, that was, and with the help of the Cardassians, which that is their whole jam. That is everything they do.
The Kardashians be getting on my nerves because they can't tell them they ain't sweet. Like they swear they're so arrogant.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, seriously speaking, one of the reasons I've always been more of a Trekkie than a warhead is because it asks these questions. And see, I'll tell you why. When I was a kid and I was in the Star Wars, I got jumped. And I was trying to rally all the other nerd kids to fight back against the 3 bullies that was at school. And none of them were moving. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to do this Rebel Alliance thing. We got to take down the Empire. No, I'm afraid I'll get in trouble for fighting. Now, what if we lose? Now, what if we do this? And so I had to learn politics in school just to stay safe. It was either that or take a gun to school. And if I had done that, my mom would take the gun from me and shoot me in the leg to teach me a lesson. So I had to do something else, you know, and it's complicated. Rallying people, finding out whose alliances are where, and Star Trek tackles these, you know.
I mean,
and it always has, you know.
It can be dangerous stepping into that, but I love the way they set up the end of this episode. And also, I mean, just because this show just looks beautiful, man. Like it just looks like the bridge, the set on the ground, like
it's a very good mix between it's a very good mix between the Abrams universe, the movies, and the original series.
Like they are, even before this, when the first episode of Discovery came out, I was like, oh, they spending money. I was like, whatever they're doing, they believe in this because they spending money. Because when Discovery came out, they had already announced that they were going to do a Picard show. They didn't announce Strange New Worlds yet. That wasn't announced. But they had announced that they were going to do Picard and like 2 other shows that were unnamed. So I was like, okay, right. Let's see, let me see how committed they seem. And when I saw the money on the first episode of Discovery, I was like, oh, they committed. I was like, they committed. Now, I don't know if it's going to be good yet because, I mean, of course, this is like 5 minutes into the first episode. But I was like, oh, they spending money.
They're
committed to this.
It's a decent plan and strategy because when you look back, I know it's hard to believe because they seem to always be there, but Star Trek very rarely, if ever, goes past 6 seasons.
Okay.
The original series only had 3 seasons. Next Generation had 5, I think. Yeah, it was 5. Enterprise had 5, DS9 had 5, so we're going into season 5 of Discovery now, so they're probably wrapping it up soon.
Yeah, because they said this will be Discovery's final season.
So at season 4 of Discovery, they launched Strange New Worlds so that you still got another thing. Yeah. You see what I mean? Like there's always a new Star Trek thing. Picard had 3 seasons. That was it. So as long as Paramount knows who signs their checks, the Roddenberry estate, there's going to be a new Star Trek show out, but you can't really push Star Trek more than 5 seasons. And they know this,
and they took Star Trek Prodigy off of the platform. I don't know why. I went to watch it with my son again, and it's not on there. You have to pay for it on like Voodoo or something. I don't know why they did that, but I it's like, look, guys, the whole reason y'all want us to pay for this stuff is because you got this stuff, then you take it off. Like what's up? And Prodigy is a decent show. I like it. It's great for kids. It's like it's Star Trek that I can watch with my son, and I don't really have to worry about it. And it's also something that I said Star Trek should have did, like, I don't know, like 2010 or so. Because I have
go back as far as to say 85, because they tried making a Star Trek cartoon back in the 70s, and it was okay. But yeah, Star Trek has needed an animation for a long time, and Prodigy was perfect for getting filled with the young.
Yeah, I have a friend that's super Star Trek. Like he loves he goes to Star Trek conventions and all that. He loves he's in Vegas every time they do it, right? And I remember back in, I don't know, maybe 08, 09, something like that. He was talking about how like Star Trek, he loves going to the conventions, he loves seeing his friends, but he's noticing there's no young kids. He's like, it's less and less young kids. He's like, Star Trek is dying for young kids. And I was like, all they need to do is have an animated series of cadets. I was like, I don't know why they don't do that.
That's not Lower Decks.
And then, that's not Lower Decks. And then Prodigy, which is kind of similar, is that. I'm like, y'all should have did this back in like 09 when like I told y'all, like Paramount, like what's the deal? I give y'all ideas all the time. What's up? Like,
well, I
give y'all free ideas all the time.
I can see where Paramount trips because kids like flashy, easy to understand fun. They also like pew pew fighting. They like fun little monsters. And they like spaceships. And who's got the lock on that?
Yeah, I guess you could say Star Wars has that. But Prodigy really did a good job.
It did.
And then they just stopped and took it off the platform. I was like, whoa, what are you doing?
It could be timing. I don't know this for sure. This is in my humble opinion. Citation, trust me, bro. But you got Prodigy, but you also got Prodigy going against the Clone Wars and Rebels and the Bad Batch and how many other Star Wars animations were there?
I know there's one there's like a Disney Junior one. Man, what is it?
So,
it's got Kai, and it's basically done by the same people that do Spidey and Friends.
Okay, so you got all that on one side of the popular sci-fi property, and then Paramount comes in and you get something similar but not identical to the MCU versus DCAU. You know, I mean,
I get you. And it's Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures. That's what it is.
Okay. So you got one animated thing that's sci-fi that's being put out there going, hey, you can be a space wizard with a glowing sword and a pew pew pistol, or you can fight some monsters and talk to people about the universe. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. But I mean, hey, as a 5-year-old, my son enjoyed it and was asked to watch it again and again. So I mean, I think they had something that was comparable. Man, you know, because Bad Batch I wouldn't consider for like the 5-year-old crowd.
Yeah. Bruh. I know they did a comparable job. Prodigy was amazing.
Yeah, Prodigy was on point.
But can they do it 5 times?
Yeah, you're right. Because even Star Wars, they have the Nick Jr., so like the little ones, like the 5 and below. Then they got Bad Batch, which I would say the TVY 10 or whatever, like the 10-year-old, the 12-year-old. They got Rebels, which kind of depending on what season, kind of depends on the age. Like season 1, I think a 5-year-old could watch. After that, you know, is a little bit older. So they do have like 3 animated series kind of going on. Then of course they finished up the Clone Wars season.
And remember, what is the number one reason animation is made
to sell toys.
Uh-huh.
Well, toys, shoes, book bags, socks,
merch,
stuff like
exactly. So can Paramount make 5 animated shows for all those demographics with their universe that will appeal to those age groups and make them beg, whine, scream, cry, and break things for that sweet, sweet merch?
Look,
How many communicators and phasers can you get?
My son, and I've seen other people very similar because they laughed about it with me with other properties. My son has Miles Morales sheets. He got Spider-Man socks, Spider-Man shoes, Spider-Man shorts, Spider-Man shirt. When I was at Second and Charles, they had a great sale of 1 penny per page. So I got some great stuff for raffles for the viewers and everything. Anyway, I got some cool stuff for y'all. Anyway, but they had all these book bags. They even had Gremlins book bags. They were like cute Gremlins book bags. None of them were Star Trek themed. I'm like, yo, man, y'all ain't even trying.
Yeah,
I saw of course the Disney princesses. I saw Lilo and Stitch. I saw Grogu. I saw the Gremlins. I saw My Hero Academia, stuff like that, but no Star Trek.
And I ain't gonna lie,
and
man,
all those
Grogu
like little
was a
cute
stroke
book
of
bags.
genius.
Those book bags are awesome.
Yeah,
but none of them were Star Trek.
Exactly. I mean, looking at this season, I've already said the merch that I want from this season. Man, I want them jackets.
Of those jackets, man.
Yeah.
Yo, they be having jackets that are like Star Trek got some fly jackets. Shoot, in X-Men, Bishop has a jacket. It's similar to the one that Cyclops had, but Bishop has a jacket that I want. And I mean, that was just drawn, but I was like, yo, that jacket is kind of sweet. Yeah, like the cool big X and the. I'm like, shoot, I gotta find me someone I gotta look on Etsy, someone who works with leather, and be like, yo, can you make this?
Exactly,
and especially since I'm back in Virginia, we're gonna see some snow. So I mean, I can actually wear a leather jacket and not cook. So
yeah, and the next part again, what kind of merchandise can you make in the Star Trek universe? Okay, like what is it? Excuse me, what can you make? What is their thing? Like with Star Wars, you got the good guys and the bad guys, simplistic. All right. Because I mean, as a kid, I had Darth Vader pencil eraser.
Grogu's a slam dunk.
Bro, Grogu was the stroke of genius that they were trying with BB-8. All right.
You're right.
What does Star Trek have?
If they would have pushed, they had Murph. If they would have pushed, Murph is kind of cool, and you could come up with like squishy type toys with Murph. But I don't know. Murph isn't Grogu though.
Exactly.
He's not Grogu.
That's exactly the thing. And the big thing is, merchandising something like Star Wars is easy because we are America. We like our guns. We like pew pew, which means the underlying theme of Star Trek from a merchandise standpoint is war, a universal theme. Okay. With Star Trek, it's space exploration and navel gazing. And unfortunately, dealing with the philosophy of
navel gazing. That's hilarious.
Pardon?
I mean, oh, bless you.
So, how do you sell toys on a franchise that's based? Hang on a minute.
Wow, bless you.
Based on going out into space and seeing what's out there in excuse me, the 21st century that has stopped caring about space exploration. We're at constant war.
Yeah, and to your credit, I would say that it seems that our governments have stopped caring about space exploration.
They have.
Because it's like, all right, cool, we got to the moon. All right, y'all, peace. You know what I'm saying? We'll go to Mars. We'll talk about Mars every, I don't know, maybe every 5 or 7 years or so. But, whatever.
No, we changed our paradigm in the 1980s, bro. By the way, send all complaints to backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK. But the fact is, when Star Trek came out, it came out before we landed on the moon. We were excited to see what was out there. We wanted to know if we could do it. Now, we're only excited, or should I say, Western civilization tends to only be excited at what can this do for me right now, i.e., how can this make money? Okay. We'll start caring about space exploration when we figure out how to mine those resources off of asteroids. That's when we'll care. But like,
yeah, if someone's like, hey, this asteroid has this special quality that can cure cancer, then we'll be back up in space again. We'll be back up there. No, because now I think about, there's nothing. Maybe tricorders, maybe like the little pin and you press it. It's like a little walkie-talkie for kids. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I don't. You can't really do. You can't really.
Yeah, and see, when Star Trek came out, oh, there was merch. You know why? Enterprise, spaceship. Hey, it's a spaceship. Hey, alien planets. Hey, there was a sense of curiosity in the United States at the time. And the 80s and the 90s killed our curiosity. Just killed it. We're not interested to see what we don't know and find out what we don't know. We are interested in shut up, you need to make money. And if you don't already know, it's a character flaw. If you don't already know, it's a character flaw. It really is. You grew up around the same time as I did. So the concept of space exploration is based on, I don't know, let's find out. I don't know what's out there, let's go see. And you and I grew up at a time where I don't know was always replied with, what do you mean you don't know? So not knowing was kind of vilified and criminalized. So how do you make merchandise on a show whose entire premise is we don't know and it will be fun to check it out? But in the 80s, we became so goal oriented, we don't care. Like, we don't do any sightseeing anymore. We get in the car, we start driving, and it all is about getting there and not seeing what's there on the way.
Yeah, I will say that I've started doing that with the family. Like, if we see something cool, I'll be like, let's go over there. Mm-hmm. Like, just go. Now, of course, if you're on a road trip, since I'm black in America, there is a certain, be careful. Yeah. Because when we were driving cross country, we did not stop in Alabama. We stopped to use the bathroom and fill up gas, and we kept going.
And throw a hat in the air.
Oh man. But it's, when we came into Alabama,
maybe go swimming,
they had the Confederate flag huge flying up. They let you know, where you was at. They was like, look, this where you at, and just know where you at. And we were like,
you are in the territory of the losing side. You are no longer in America.
Oh man. But I was like, understood. We just kept on riding. But yeah, the whole idea about space, because of course the reason we cared about it is because it was pushed through the government, i.e. pushed through the media. This is interesting. When's the last time we've looked at a major network, i.e. ABC, NBC, Fox, MSNBC, CNN, where it's we got the astronaut on here, or we got the person that's working on the thruster, the jet propulsion, to talk about what we're going to do in space? Never. We don't do it.
The only time we care is we got the astronaut here to fix that telecommunications satellite so you can download Twitter a lot faster. Not that I'm making fun of Twitter and all that other stuff, but it comes down to, we have the people on here that is doing something magical that benefits you in your life right now.
Yeah, why are we trying to do stuff cool stuff. Like we used to try to do cool stuff that we saw in sci-fi. Like even for military amputees. When I was young, I thought amputees would be like a thing of the past by the time we were at 2000 or at least 2020. I'm like, Psh, there won't be no amputees. We'll just give them like a robot leg and everything will be good. It'll look just like skin and it'll be awesome. And like, we'll never have to worry about amputations again because it'll be like when I was a kid, oh man, 2000, oh, we was going to be sweet. It's going to be over.
All right.
It's slam dunk.
Is that a rhetorical question or you want the answer to it?
I know the answer, but give me the answer.
The answer?
Yes.
We only started caring about money, bruh.
That's right. Money.
All right,
money,
because
money.
We've got the resources and we got the tech to give every amputee robot appendages. However, we don't do it because it is not fiscally viable, because all we care about in the United States are how much more money the shareholders can make in 3 months. And even the working class protects those people because in their imagination, somehow they think that one day they'll be there.
And it's like,
so what do we focus on?
You have, say, to get started, say 50 to 100 people to exploit. You can get there.
Oh, I mean,
you can get there. Oh yeah, if you got a good group of people to exploit, yeah, you can get there.
And that's the thing, the culture changed. So what we care about as adults are what kids grow up learning to care about. So yeah, when Star Trek first came out, it was, hey, what's out there? We don't even know. We've never left our planet before. Let's go do this, And Star Trek was the show that was like, if we meet intelligent life, maybe we can talk to them. Versus War of the Worlds, where intelligent life comes here to blow us up. Maybe we can talk to them. Maybe we can learn some stuff. Let's see what's out there. All right. And now the only time we care about what's out there is when it directly benefits us, or when we see that somebody is so rich they can do it themselves, and maybe one day you'll be able to have your own rocket that you launch from your own private island.
Nah, you be all right. Like, billionaires can't even go underwater, bro. Like, look, they can't look.
Okay,
it's like
in all fairness, underwater is
swimming, bro. Get out of here.
Now, I'm saying this from a scientific point of view. Go ahead, fight me on it. But underwater is much more dangerous than space. And I will say it because of this. There is affirmative confirmation of life down there that only sees you as food.
True.
It too is a hostile environment like the void of space, but we don't know if there are monsters up there, but we know there's monsters down there.
Yeah, and they just eat everything. Like it's the deep sea is like the jungle. Everything eats everything.
Yeah.
Like it like, just don't go down there. Like, stay, like, we should go down there to, like, maybe there's something like some mystical qualities of the water or something that we can, like, use to, like, maybe enlighten ourselves or make the soil better or something. I don't know, something like that. But
or what, invade an African country?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, that too. But for the most part, yeah, going deep down in the water is a bad idea because shoot, in the river, there's catfish larger than me. Like, yeah, like, bruh, just leave the water. If you can't see the bottom of the water, don't go in there. That's my personal rule to all of y'all. Unless you're in like a submarine, just don't go in it. In a real submarine,
well made,
like, a real submarine,
a submarine like, with actual controls.
Like, like the Navy made it. And when I say the Navy, like the U.S. Navy, the Russian Navy, the Chinese Navy, the Japanese Navy, a governmental structure has had tests and regulations on the strength and the bolts and the girders or whatever.
Yeah, not Donnell's trash can that he's like, trust me, bro, this is gonna be great.
Like, my name is Andrew Anderson and I'm a billionaire. Come on down the water with me. No. All right. A real submarine. Like, I don't know, like just one of those submarines that you see on like, I don't know, in the military. Those ones, the good ones, the good submarines. They got it's almost like they got that submarine from like the used lot. Like, you know how you drive past Lexus, and you drive past like, like Land Rover and Ford, and like those are the dealerships. And then you drive down to like Ted's Auto. It is like,
nah, son.
I mean, they got cars.
I gotta disagree. That submarine looked like exactly what it was. The rich person's equivalent of a go-kart in the water. All right.
Oh.
And I'm not even talking about the ones that you got at the carnival. I'm talking about the one that your drunk uncle made in the garage and said, "Hey, man, you should get a kick out of riding this when you're 11 years old. Mom and dad's gone, but everybody knows that medical insurance is there." Lawnmower. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. We're straight up talking the silver bullet. All right.
He's like, don't put it on the rabbit though. Don't put it on the rabbit. Keep it on the turtle.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you ain't ready for it on the rabbit. Nah, you ain't ready for that there. Nah.
Oh man. Anyway, look. We've talked long enough. Look, we'll talk about Rhapsody next week, but we wanted to talk about the finale. We've gone long. We ain't gonna keep y'all forever. But you know what I'm saying? We love all y'all. I'm gonna throw it to the one and only Cinematic Sorcerer. Final thoughts. And where can they find you?
Final thoughts. This was a fantastic finale, especially in the traditions of Star Trek and the realms of pale moonlight, all good things. The to be continued season finale is not new. No, it is a great way. It is a great way.
But it's not new.
Yeah, it's effective. Okay, because I bet dollars to donuts we gonna be tuning in.
Look, and also don't look, Star Trek. Do not play with that premiere. Don't play with that premiere. Don't be like, hey, 2 weeks before the finale, this is what happened on Joseph's. No, I don't care about Joseph right now. I want to know what happened. Start us off exactly where we left. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so honestly, I really did enjoy this episode. I'm looking forward to next season. If they can get their crap together with the MPAA or the Producers Guild and all that stuff, pay your writers, because right here, right now, this is what that strike is about. So pay your writers, pay your actors, because if that season premiere,
stop it.
Yeah, if this season premiere makes me think of Heroes, we got problems, Paramount. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh no. All right? Heroes is a show that the last writer strike, well, not the last writer strike, but the last I guess major, the last major writer strike killed.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's enough money to go. Trust me. Don't let Zaz and Iger make you think that if they pay these people properly that they're going to be living on the street. All right. Trust me. All right. It's not the case. Look, there's enough money.
If A24 can pay their people, everybody else can. And I'm only getting on this kick because now we got a 2-part season finale of an amazing show. So that second part better bring it, but the only way that second part, AI ain't gonna make that second part bring it, y'all.
And no, it's not. AI is gonna be, it's gonna be rough. Don't try to do it with the AI.
So just pay your people so we can get this next episode, we can get this next season going. All right. So yeah, it's got a lot of. It still feels like Star Trek is supposed to feel, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And again, it was really compelling, really good to watch. I was very happy with it. So pay your people so I can keep saying this, Paramount.
Yeah.
And again, if y'all don't like what I had to say, y'all can reach me at backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK. Also look up Back in the Deck on the Instagram. Found out nobody's on Facebook. So you know what? That's fine. I'm on the gram too. And seriously, reach out. If you disagree with what I said, I'm open to a conversation. All right.
That's right.
So so I gotta say, man, I was happy with this episode. Yeah, I was happy with this episode. I look forward to the next one if Paramount pays its people what they owe. And if A24 and Blumhouse is willing to do it, I know y'all got the money.
Yeah,
Those
it's
are the
like
two movie companies that are like, here's $5 million for your full budget motion picture and bring me back my change.
man,
So-
5. Ooh, you must be lucky on that 5.
Yeah, so real talk. If they're willing to get down, Paramount, y'all need to get on that bandwagon too, because we need our Star Trek to keep being this good.
Yes,
Discovery
definitely.
found its legs, Strange New Worlds hit the ground running. Don't do this to us. Don't do this to us fans. Us fans who keep watching the shows. Because it's got its legs, it's running. I want to see how this turns out. And I want the next bit, specifically the passing of the torch from Carol Kane to Scotty. I want that to work.
Mhm.
And AI ain't gonna make that work.
And just make these actors and writers as rich as you pretend they are, and everything will be all good. Now, at the same time, with the writers, if y'all weren't pretending like y'all were this rich all this time, we might have known there was a problem a long time ago, but that's a whole other issue. Don't worry about
hold
that.
up. Real talk. Writers don't do that pretending because they're never in the spotlight.
Well, the larger writers. Because
the larger writers are getting paid good, but the larger writers,
the staff writers, most of the time when I see the staff writers, they do these kind of sort of like the Instagrammy tweets. I mean, the Instagrammy posts and the tweets where it's like they're living it up, and if you ain't living it up, y'all could have rung the alarm a lot sooner.
Come on, bro. I know you ain't getting on the writers for doing exactly what our cousin Pookie is doing.
But yeah, it's like
everybody flexes on Instagram except me. That's why I ain't got no followers.
Like, pay them people their money and let's keep this thing rolling.
Yeah.
Right? Dang. Why I gotta tell you this? Why I gotta why I gotta tell y'all just pay the people so we can keep going? Like, there's enough money. You talk about billions of dollars. Like, man, stop it. Like, anyway, look, my final thoughts is this. All right, look, the show is awesome. The Star Trek is on a roll. Do not stop, and the way you don't stop is by doing what we just said. Y'all on a roll, just keep killing it. Star Trek is back. I'm like, look, y'all got like 3-4 shows. They all good. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all killing it. And we got Lower Decks coming back in September 1st, 7th, something like that. See what I mean? It might be back.
Exactly.
And like, look, y'all messing things up, so like, get it together. But with that said, of course, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. Of course, until the next geopolitical galactic incursion, until the next spaceship gets blown up, or until the next break in communications. This is from us to you saying, peace.
Later, guys.